Being braver than brave to me means never quitting, always fighting, never giving up. I think that's something, Tucker really embodied.
That first weekend when Tucker had surgery, one of the nurses, she was in there helping, and one of our family members was talking about how brave Tucker is, and the nurse actually stopped it and was like, no, he's braver than brave.
Being braver than brave, to me, it all, again, goes back to Tucker and kind of what I know about him as a kid that just had this incredible fight. Really does give you a unique perspective, to consider really what's important and what you can impact and how to face adversity. Tucker was a kid that embodied that and something that we can all learn from.
My name is Rob Hellier.
My name is Shawn Williams.
My name is Zach Greer, and this is Building the Pack. It's hard to find the words of what it's going to mean to bring the Tucker Out Lymphoma game to this community and really be a part of it from the inside as a player. It's going to be a night where we're all going to have to control our emotions. I think it's going to certainly be an emotional night for the players and the staff and everybody close to this team. From a fan's perspective, I think it's going to be something that they're never going to forget. There's going to be an aura and an energy in that building that is not something you can replicate. And, we're certainly going to do everything we can to put on a show in honor of Tucker and his name and his legacy. And it's going to be something that I think anybody involved in this community is going to remember for a long time.
Who was Tucker Williams? Well, Tucker's our forever 8-year-old boy. Larger than life. And, you could tell right away how special he was, and obviously, I think a lot of families with their third born, you see that their soul can do everything on their own, so much better than their brothers and sisters, and he had that right away. But he just had a lot of other pieces to him. He definitely was an old soul and great at everything. The funniest guy in the room, always lit everybody up, had the best smile. Beautiful blonde locks, curly hair, and he was larger than life and made everybody smile even before he got diagnosed, for sure. We knew there was something wrong. He wasn't, he had trouble breathing. We just thought it was his tonsils, and he got taken in, and all of a sudden we're at Sick Kids on a Tuesday. It's like, yeah, you have cancer. And we think it's Burkitt's lymphoma.
When we found out the news about Tucker, lacrosse world's very small. So it circulated very quickly, and I think the reaction of everybody was the same, just disbelief and heartbreak, right? Like, it's the last thing you want to hear for a parent, especially a peer that we all, look up to and really respect.
The Tucker Out Lymphoma Night is something special around the league. I know us as players and kind of seeing it from afar, but also being tied into that lacrosse community. Everybody's watching that night, right? And everybody's rallying around both of those teams, and the players and the family, obviously. It's incredibly special, and I think it does show you the type of people that the Williams are, that the entire community, top to bottom, is, come together on those nights and just in general to support them and Tucker and what they've been through. And, it's a really cool part of the legacy that Tucker's leaving, and it just demonstrates in his short time on this earth how many people he impacted and the type of kid that he was.
It's obviously a huge honor to play in those, braver than brave games. Very emotional on both sides of the floor. A lot of the guys that play in those games either played with or know Shawn really well. It just goes to show how close the lacrosse community is. I think that stadium in Buffalo is always sold out for that game. They raise a lot of money and awareness for the disease, so it's good to see that it's spreading out west too.
I tell people that Vegas feels like any city in Toronto, any upstate New York City that I've been a part of. It just feels like that normal, small kind of feel where everybody knows each other and they want to be a part of it and they're supportive. Man, we felt that through our first 5 home games here, and they're so loud and so embracive, and so they're always smiling, and whether we're up or down, it's been a blast.
The braver than brave mentality obviously comes from Shawn. A team embodies and takes on the personality and the persona of its leadership. And we couldn't have a better leader in Willie. Nothing but professionalism and a mindset of, hey, there's going to be some growing pains and there's going to be adversity along the way. As an expansion franchise and a bunch of guys that have never played together and everything else that we're going through. But in the grand scheme of things, to take the perspective that he has and look at the challenges that we're going to face are tiny compared to anything that he's been through, that other people are fighting. And it gives you a really unique perspective on adversity.
His battle was 11 months long, and he played a few lacrosse games in and out of that. He'd be up and then he'd be down, up and down. And even right to the end when it was terminal and we made the choice to go home, he still battled. He pretty much, he got to do, I guess in my mind, everything he wanted to do. But he just persevered through all of his pain and all of his anguish, man, and is still always looking to take care of us. I don't know how to explain that to anybody, but man, if you think you have it bad, man, you just gotta keep your chin up and keep going forward. And who's ever beside you, just bring them along with you.
And so I think we've taken that from Shawn and been able to overcome some hurdles early in the year and try to apply that to, shifts and games and periods and, wins and losses and all that stuff. And we get to kind of take that in and use that, in our day-to-day, which has been super valuable for the guys.
Man, to have Tucker Out Lymphoma here and against Rochester, one of my former teams, it's pretty cool, and I hope the fans do embrace it, and I hope they get a little bit more awareness to what we're doing on top of playing the game we love.